Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Inside Edge. It's Thursday, August 14th, and New Jersey holds its primaries in June. It has since 1968, except for the COVID VBM July primary. Before that, primaries moved around the calendar at the whim of legislators and this really shouldn't surprise you, who look to schedule a primary to fit their own particular interest in a single moment in time. And if you think that election laws are inconsistent today, you should travel back in time and meet the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and 50s and 60s, when each year the legislature figured out when they'd like to hold a primary election. And it was like a bouncing ball. The date moved around each for a particular reason that's now just an asterisk in history. Sometimes they picked April, sometimes May or June, and for a while, mostly in September. Imagine the days when members of the state assembly serve 1 year terms. They were elected in November. And they took office in January, and there were times where they had to face a primary after just 3 months in office. Voters didn't know from year to year when the primary was going to be held until the legislature decided to schedule it. And still, voter turnout in primaries was higher than it is today. Yesterday, I was asked why the legislature moved the 1968 primary from September to June. And considering the national focus on mid-decade congressional redistricting, the story is especially prescient. Republicans had won control of both houses of the legislature in 1967. They went from 9 Senate seats to 31, from 19 assembly seats to 58. Gains came after a state constitutional convention on legislative apportionment that followed the U.S. Supreme Court's one man, one vote decision. They were veto-proof majorities, both houses. And in January of 68, the legislature approved a June primary. And in February, in an era where the legislature drew maps, they approved a plan to tinker with the two Bergen County congressional district. It shifted 14 towns represented in what's now the 5th district by Republican Bill Widnall into another district in a bid to flip a House seat and take out Democratic Congressman Henry Helstosky. The Democratic towns were sent to the Republican district, and the map was drawn by Assembly Speaker Peter Moritz, who then ran for the seat himself. Widnall dropped from 66 to 62%, and Helstosky, who beat an incumbent by 2,400 votes, 1 point in 1964, and then won a rematch 2 years later by 2,500 votes, a little less than 2 points. Despite the attempt to steal the seat, Helstosky held on and won by 2,300 votes, about 1 percentage point, in a district where Richard Nixon beat Hubert Humphrey by 12 points. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back tomorrow.